Oh, hello there, my friends. My name is Warak. You don't know me, but I'm kind of famous, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you an interesting game. Stories, The Path of Destinies. This is a fantasy RPG where you can make choices. Isn't that so exciting? So, I already started the game. I'm going to show you something really interesting. So there are multiple paths that you can take. In the beginning, you can take like 2 or 3 paths. Those paths will influence your path. Isn't that interesting? You can either die or you can go on in a different storyline. And at the end of each storyline, you find a truth. That truth will help you in the next path. You'll go back in time, you have new information, and you can guide your new story by that new information. That's freaking amazing. First, I have to talk about the narrator. He narrates the story and he does all the voices for all the characters. He can be funny at times. There's a lot of references to other video games or even movies, I think. So, about the 3D visuals, they are awesome. I like the 3D environment. About the characters, not so much. You have a hero sword. You can craft new swords. Isn't that amazing? There's a lot of type of swords. So I'm gonna show you. Swords first. You have the Winter Throne, you have the Firestorm, you have the Hero Sword, and there's the Void Blade. While you go on in your adventures, you can get ore. Not you can get ore or you get essences. It can be a water, it can be wind, it can be yeah, you got it. And throughout the game you also find gems where you can equip in your galley. You start with simple ones and then you'll find the upgrades. I built all of the weapons because you start only with one, which is this one, the heroic or the hero sword or whatever. And these are important because you can open doors with each one of them. There's a specific door for them. This one can heal, this one does a lot of fire damage, this one can freeze, and this one makes you faster or the time slows down. Here's the first example where my Void Blade can open the door. Only with the Void Blade you can open this kind of doors. And you have access to a new path or treasures. Okay, now you have the altar. The altar, he says, is for you to remember abilities. And this is kind of a talent tree. Each time you get a level, you get a skill point, which you can use on these talents. Okay, here's an example of the combat. It's kind of hard, so those red ones explode if I hit them. What should I do is just grab this guy here and throw it to them so they can explode. By exploding, they explode everything else. This combat is very fluid, I think. It's kind of like Batman. I don't know if you noticed, there's an exclamation point, and with that I can react like this. Here we go. Okay, so let me try to show you. I'm gonna grab this guy, throw it there. Now he's gonna explode. I'm gonna go to this guy, throw it there. We're gonna explode again. Right now I'm just doing normal attacks. But see, you can react every time. And I can use my trigger to activate my power. You can see the second bar there. I can activate and it does a lot of explosions and fire. So here we go again. There's the guy of the shield. I'm gonna grab. As soon as they go to the ground, you can finish them. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to do is catch that guy here and push him there.
Finally, he came to the Emperor's ship. The path behind him was strewn with dead ravens. The path to enlightenment. His mistake, he realized, was trying to change the world. The world would spin and the wheel would revolve whether he strove against it or not. What he had to do was nothing. He had attained enlightenment. He sat down, adopted a full lotus position, and began to meditate. And all around him, the warriors stopped fighting too. They knew. They could feel his enlightenment. They gave up fighting, dropped their weapons, and became his disciples. No, just kidding. The nearest raven stabbed him with a sword and then chopped off his head. I might not have thought this through properly. Thought Renado's head as it rolled around the deck and died. And just like that, he was alive again, and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him.
So as you can see in the right, you can find 3 truths. I will not show you because it will influence the way you play. So, there's 4 truths and I did not found the last one. And I'm guessing you need to find the last truth so we can end the story. So let's go on so I can show you the other weapons.
But he was starting to feel like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory. He could feel it. He just had to keep running the path of Destinies. With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning, and he fell into it. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced, or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
So here we go. We can choose 3 paths right now. In the beginning, you can choose like 2 paths, but right now I can choose 3. I'm not gonna tell you why I'm gonna choose the one I'm gonna choose because it will influence your gameplay.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them
With
to
each
light?
choice,
This
it branches to the other 3 or the other 2 choices.
But he
You
got
either
mad.
die or you get a new ending. And you saw how many endings there was there. Okay, final thoughts on this game. This game has been a lot of fun. I could just go on and keep playing. There's a lot of paths I could take. I will not finish the game with you guys watching because there's a lot of spoilers in this game. It's funny. The narrative is really good. He does all the voices, but he does a good job with it. He has a lot of jokes, has a lot of other game references. The art style is good. 2D art style is good. The 3D character models are not that great, sadly. The abilities are fun and simple. The combat system is simple to use. The multiple paths makes the game really interesting, and the way it does it, when you finish the storyline, you find the truth, and then you can make your choices based on those truths. How about you? What do you think about this video game? Why don't you give me comments in the section below? And while you do that, why don't you give a thumbs up? You want to subscribe? Well, do it right now, baby. You get awesome content like this. I see you guys next time. Bye.